Hey everyone, I'm Laura Gdenik. I'm an astrologer and a therapist, and I'm here to give you the astrology for the weeks of April 6th through the 19th, 2026. So this week there's some easy, lovely stuff, and then there's some maybe more challenging stuff depending on how you look at it. The next couple weeks are some pretty active astrology. So I'll explain more as I go over it. So Wednesday the 8th, we have Mars in Pisces making a sextile to Uranus in Taurus. This is Mars's last moment in Pisces before heading into Aries. It's a moment to wrap something up, maybe an innovative moment or trying something new moment, because Uranus is a planet about innovation, revelation, revolution. It's not the biggest aspect of the week. I would say more importantly, Mars heads into Aries on the 9th, where it has a lot of power. Mars is at home in the sign of Aries. It's normally quite strong here, meaning we can do Mars things really well. Mars things include we have a lot of drive, we have a lot of passion, we have a lot of zeal to go after our goals. Mars represents our energy and our initiative. However, when Mars enters Aries, it's going to be coming into a conjunction with Neptune for the first several days, and that'll happen on the 12th. And so really from the 9th to the 12th, it might feel more challenging to go after what you want to achieve. You might feel like you just want to lay around. You might feel kind of tired. You might not have much motivation. You might even feel a little confused about where you're headed or what you want to do or where you want to put your energy. There could be some fatigue. Neptune is kind of a confusing, draining sort of planet. It can also be very inspiring and give us like momentum towards a new dream or vision. So it might also be that you feel inspired to put your energy into something new, like a new dream or vision. However, I would be mindful of rose-colored glasses or not seeing things as clearly as you would like to. I will say after Mars's conjunction with Neptune, it then is starting to approach a conjunction with Saturn. So it could be this sequence of like discovering you want to work towards a new dream or a vision, which is the Neptune aspect. And then as Mars approaches Saturn, it's like, okay, how do we actually make this happen? How do we make this real? What are the steps we have to take to achieve this new dream? So there could be some positives, but in general, I would say don't have too many expectations for yourself around this time and allow yourself to kind of go with the flow. Neptune is a very whimsical sort of planet, and so we might want to be a little bit more whimsical, a little bit more just kind of going with the flow and letting ourselves go about life without a plan and be lazy. So that's happening. So yeah, Thursday the 9th, Mars enters Aries, and then we're approaching that conjunction with Neptune on the 12th. On the 13th, on Monday, we have a really lovely Venus-Jupiter sextile. These are the two benefic planets coming together. Venus is a planet about love, beauty, connection, romance, relaxation, and Jupiter is about celebration, hope, optimism, expansion. So it does feel like a really lovely celebratory sort of day where connections come easy. We might just want to relax, kind of following that Mars-Neptune conjunction. We might just want to indulge a little bit and experience things that are more pleasurable, or even have my challenge would be to try to have a perspective of pleasure, like what is pleasurable, what brings pleasure. How can I make life a little bit more juicy and easeful? Okay, on Tuesday the 14th, we have Mercury in Pisces making a sextile to Uranus. This is like innovative thinking, innovative mindset. Mercury is the mind, Uranus is innovation. And then Mercury heads into Aries, which once again, it'll be approaching that conjunction with Neptune. Mercury in Aries is in a better condition than when Mercury was in Pisces. Mercury in Pisces, we just went through this foggy, messy, clunky, confusing Mercury retrograde in the sign of Pisces, which had us all maybe confused and like going really slowly and not having all the facts, and there being some miscommunications or misunderstandings and needing to clear things up or wait on things. And so Mercury in Aries is a lot crisper, sharper, clearer. We're able to think more quickly and clearly, and maybe even act on those ideas more easily normally. However, remember, Mercury is going to be approaching this conjunction with Neptune. So it does still feel like we're in a little bit of a Mercury retrograde moment as Mercury approaches Neptune, which will be on Thursday the 16th. So from Tuesday the 14th through Thursday the 16th, we might still be in this kind of like la la land mentality where we're not quite clear on maybe what we want, where we're going, what our direction is. But it's a moment to just kind of go with the flow, have fun, enjoy yourself, write poetry, dream big. And once again, after that, after the 16th, Mercury is going to be headed towards a conjunction with Saturn, which is all about, okay, we have the dream and vision. Now, how do we make that real? What are the steps we have to take? How can we create this reality? So yeah, but just expect maybe some miscommunications, maybe some unclear thinking, but also some inspiration and being inspired by a new dream as Mercury conjoins with Neptune on Thursday the 16th. And then, I would also kind of warn everyone about the 16th as well, because on that same day, the sun makes a conjunction with Chiron, the wounded healer, which indicates a wound, reflects something that hurts a little bit. So it's a little bit ouchy. It's an ouchy day. Something might be triggering or upsetting. We might get our feelings hurt. And then Mercury-Neptune conjunction would be like a misunderstanding, a miscommunication. So it's a really good time to check in on, okay, what was your perception of what happened? What was my perception of what happened? Double check the facts. What did you hear me say? And then you can do that sort of reflective listening process of like, okay, yes, that is what I said. That's what I meant. Or no, oh my gosh, I actually meant this. That's where the confusion and hurt came in to play. So Thursday the 16th, kind of a moment to watch out for, and maybe a moment to do some healing around as well. Mars in Aries does make a sextile to Pluto on this day, which indicates a deep drive. Pluto is really intense and focused and almost, like very committed. And so it feels kind of like this sense of feeling deeply inspired to act. Powerful action is what comes to mind. So that's all Thursday the 16th. Saturday the 18th, Mercury in Aries makes a sextile to Pluto as well. So Mercury and Mars are traveling really close together in the sign of Aries. So that's also something to watch out for. Like our words have a little bit more punch. We're maybe really, especially after the conjunction with Neptune on Thursday the 16th, Mercury and Mars traveling together, we're maybe really clear and direct and succinct with our words. I would be mindful of being a little too sharp or pokey or, Mercury, Mars together can indicate harsh words. So just something to be aware of. Mercury sextiling Pluto on Saturday the 18th gives us the opportunity to have deeply honest conversations and a good day to journal, be self-reflective, be honest with yourself. What do you need? How are you feeling? Have an open talk with yourself or with others. It's a great day for that. Then on Sunday the 19th, we have Mars conjoining with Saturn. And also on the 20th, which is technically outside of this time frame. However, I'm going to lump it together because it's all happening. It's all impacting each other. We basically have Mars and Saturn conjoining along with Mercury. So definitely watching out on the 19th, the 20th, even the 18th a little bit. It feels kind of like we're having really serious conversations. Mercury is conversations, communications. Saturn is like this weightiness, this seriousness. Because Saturn is looking for longevity. What's going to last? What does commitment look like? What is our long-term goal? That's really Saturn, right? And then Mars is like this punch. It brings this punch to the conversation of being really crystal clear and direct and succinct. And it could even feel a little harsh. So it is a day, those couple days, and I would even extend this back a couple days too. I mean, honestly, like Thursday the 16th through Monday the 20th, there might be a moment of confusion and lack of clarity or miscommunication, or like, oh, I didn't mean it that way, I meant it this way. And then after that, there's this like clarifying, this like, no, I really need this. I really need things to be this way. This won't work for me. And there could even be some severing or separations because of a disagreement potentially. So yeah, just be mindful of being kind to yourself, to other people, while also being clear. And it's a really good time to reflect on, I would say, boundaries. I think that's a very Saturnian word and concept. This is the bounds at which I can relate to this person or this thing. And otherwise, like, this isn't for me, right? So great time for that. And also something else to think about too with that aspect of Mercury, Mars, Saturn in Aries is it could be, at best we're mentally applying ourselves towards a longer term goal. Like, what actions do I need to take, Mars, to achieve this longer term thing, Saturn, and then we're talking about it, we're conversing, it's coming into our consciousness, which is Mercury. So so those are some themes to consider and watch out for. That's the astrology for the next couple weeks. I'm available for consultations. Please reach out if that interests you. This is the astrology very generally, but it does get very specific depending on your chart and what your rising sign is. So please reach out. You can reach me at consultation@lauragadenick.com. And otherwise, love to hear from you. Please like, subscribe, comment. Trying to get this channel to grow. And I'll be back soon with another astrological update. I hope you take care. Bye.